how did you get job offers without zero applications?
And that sort of got the attention of people at HP who were looking for candidates like me. So they had reached out, and when they actually reached out to me, I really thought it was spam.
Did that name play a big role in getting the thing, or is it your personal brand?
There are companies that have these competition teams so that they actually compete. Like Nvidia has their teams competing and all of those things. So this was in August 2020, and I had started posting and being active on Kaggle from May onwards. So in 3 months of me posting about the work that I'm doing, I landed my first brand deal in a way.
This brand deal is like HP is like, hey, we want you to be our brand ambassador.
August, I landed. October, my full time role was confirmed. There are many opportunities for people to attend these conferences again through their universities or otherwise. I'm spending like $5,000 in expenses per month.
$5,000?
It's steep.
Wait, how? Before we dive into all the strategies and stories that we're going to discuss in this podcast, let me ask you this. Do you have a clear job hunting strategy to get an internship or full-time job? Most people don't, and it's costing them opportunities. I've helped over 1,100 students with their strategies through my ultimate job hunting course.
And trust me, I'm not even kidding. I could see so many recruiters viewing my profile.
And it's been the best investment I've ever made.
The content is incredibly practical, filled with tips and strategies that make you stand out to recruiters.
It was one of the best courses that I have done till date.
This course covers everything that you need to stand out. You will get ultimate resume course, you will get ultimate LinkedIn course, networking strategy, access to 1,100 plus job seekers for support, and personal support from me through WhatsApp group. I will walk you through every single step that you need with real examples and the tools that will give you an edge. I don't want you to miss any other opportunity to land your next job or an internship. So check the link in the description. And now I will let you enjoy the podcast. All right, Ruchi, you are a celebrity. So obviously people already know you, but maybe some of them who don't know you. One of the things that I am very excited about, how did you get job offers without zero applications? Because again, in this market, people are like thousands of applications and hardly 2 interviews, and you zero applications and not interview, just offers. So I want to like dive into that, but before that, let's do a quick intro. Where are you from? When did you come to United States? What did you do, and then what do you do now?
Yeah, sure. First of all, thanks for having me on your podcast. I'm Ruchi. I'm from Mumbai, India. I moved to the US for my master's program at Carnegie Mellon University. And now I'm working at HP as a product marketing manager for data science and AI.
Nice. And this is the job, you did not apply for it.
Yes, this is the job I didn't apply to.
Did you get other job offers also that you did not apply for?
No, I actually did not apply to anything at all at the time because I was like, okay, I know I want to do this. I was dead set on getting this, and
You didn't apply, but did other people reach out to you?
yeah, I do occasionally hear from recruiters and also like direct hiring managers through LinkedIn. Be interested in this, sounds like a good fit for you, all of those things.
This is gonna be like amazing. And then where did you do masters from?
From Carnegie Mellon University.
Nice. Did that name play a big role in getting the thing, or is it your personal brand?
Right. So CMU didn't actually play a role in me getting into HP because I started off as a data science global ambassador. They had come up with this new cohort system wherein they wanted to get people who were part of the data science community to try on the products that they sell and talk about how amazing they are, essentially. And I was one of the first few people to be a part of that cohort. That converted into an internship because I was proactive in speaking to people at HP, and I was like, "Hey, I'm looking for a summer internship. I'm studying at Carnegie Mellon, like you know, and I would love to intern here in the product management team." And they did have an opening at the time, and I was lucky enough to have reached out at the correct time. So it all worked out, and then finally that converted into a full time.
Nice.
So that was sort of my journey there.
Nice. Okay, cool. I want to go back when did you land here in United States?
So that was in August 2022.
Okay, 2022. So that means
Yeah.
when you were looking for internship, it was the peak recession time, and obviously when the job when you graduated, it was the layoffs were happening left and right. Yeah. So, and did you, again, for people who might have not, I'm just assuming that there might be some who are like, who's this person? Yudi is saying like celebrity. So for those of you who don't know, she's like very big shot person. You have a lot of followers on LinkedIn. You build a personal brand on LinkedIn. Of course, now you make content on Instagram as well. And when did you start this? Before coming to United States or after coming to United States?
So I started my LinkedIn brand building at, I think that was in 2020.
Hmm.
Before I became an ambassador, I had started posting about the work that I do on Kaggle. And I used to talk about my projects, any data sets I was uploading, any competitions I was taking part in. And that sort of got the attention of people at HP who were looking for candidates like me. So
Hmm.
they had reached out, and when they actually reached out to me, I really thought it was spam. Like, I was like, this is not true. There is no way someone has reached out to someone who is straight out of college, for such a cool collaboration. And I remember telling my mom, this is at 2 in the morning because US wakes up when we sleep. So I was telling my mom, look, I've received this message. I don't know how legit it is. But she was like, you know what? Don't say no to anything. Probably have a conversation. It'll probably be something that's actually legit and it could be a good thing. So I
Hmm.
listened to my mom, and it
Nice.
actually was right. So it turned out well.
Nice, amazing. So let's go back in timeline. You started posting in terms of like providing value.
Yeah.
You started creating content, and in terms of work experience, you graduated from bachelor's. When did you graduate from bachelor's?
So that was in 2020. I completed my computer engineering, and
Hmm.
at that time, COVID had hit. I was supposed to come to CMU straight out of undergrad,
Okay,
but I deferred by 1 year. I was like, okay, I want to study in person. So I worked as a software engineer at Colgate for a year before I came to the US.
got it. Okay, so software engineer, 1 year experience. So, but
Yeah.
then you said you came in 2022, so that would
Yeah.
have been 2021. So, did you do anything else after that?
So my program was unique. At CMU, I was a part of the global program. So that involved me being in Australia at the CMU campus in Australia for 1 year, and at the Pittsburgh campus for 1 year. So it was sort of a mix of the two different campuses during those 2 years.
Okay, so anybody can apply for this, or were you like special category person that was like we want Ruchi to go?
No, no, I think anyone can apply for it, but unfortunately, I was the last person. I mean, not last person. I was one of the last few people to be a part of that cohort. They
Mm.
recently shut it down, and the campus at Australia is no more there, unfortunately.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, so you
Yeah,
got the perk of it. Nice. Okay,
yeah.
so 1 year in Australia. How was Australia? Good.
I didn't get to go. So even Australia was shut at that time because of COVID
Oh, so
restrictions.
you did it all online.
Yeah, so it was online. But at that time, it was great because CMU is so difficult. I don't think I would have been able to get into like the regular rhythm of working so hard if it was me directly going to Australia and then coming to the US. It was easier because it was from home. I didn't have to worry about like other
Mm.
things like taking care of myself, like food.
Yeah.
And once I came to US, I had to.
When you say difficult, in what way?
It's a very challenging program. Like when we talk about how much time commitment it requires, it's not just time commitment, but actual. Like I know master's programs are difficult and they are designed to be difficult, but CMUs is something else. It's a different ball game.
So for people who don't want like super hardcore data science course, they shouldn't go to CMU.
Yeah, like any courses. So I did information systems management there,
Hmm.
and it was a task like in terms of being I mean that was still like a year difference between me graduating from undergrad and then going to school again for masters. But the way that the curriculum is designed, it's just so different. Like for anyone who has done undergrad in India and come into the US for their masters, there was just like tons of
So
difference.
tell me what is different? Like what do you do feel like, "Bhai, this is next level."
So we just had so much of like, we were used to, like in undergrad, we would go, that one chapter would take like 2 weeks to cover. We wouldn't attend classes,
Yeah.
practicals or what we attended. Like going from that to actually going to a master's class that if you even don't pay attention for 10 minutes, you're done. Like you're done in terms of what's coming for the assignments, and everything's linked. Like they've really logically designed things in a way that you have to use your brain. And
Mm,
in undergrad, like we were designed to like just okay, this is theory, this is done. Oh, this is an easy assignment. Like we're just used to that rhythm, and then actually
yeah.
coming here, it's a major difference.
Right. Right. Okay. 1 year you started the program online, then
Yeah,
you came to United States. We'll do separate video on CMU because I'm very curious on that as well. But
yeah, of course.
but and all this time you were still posting, and what were you posting about? Like, is where were you specifically posting about data science, or was it like all different things?
So my target initially when I first started off was not really brand building, but mostly like focusing on Kaggle. And like at the time when I had started off with Kaggle just so that I can hone my data science skills, like sort of build my portfolio. So that was the goal when I first started out. And I did know that at the time many people were venturing into the content creation space. So maybe just we all just had so much time on our hands that we used to just share a little bit of what we are doing on
Yeah.
LinkedIn and all of that. So I became a part of that, and I just started contributing to Kaggle, speaking about the work that I'm doing, and it became sort of a habit. And
Mm.
then HP happened, where I was a part of this program, and we were required to post, obviously, because we are brand ambassadors. And any projects that we were doing, we had to talk about how we've used HP products and how it's been awesome, and like not in an obviously in an organic way if it has helped you, which it definitely was. It was like great access to equipment.
Mm.
So all of those things, and in the process, I became a triple grandmaster on Kaggle. So that was a cherry on the top.
Oh my gosh. Okay. And for people who don't know what is Kaggle, like, can you quickly explain, like, what's the use of that?
Yeah, sure. So it's a subsidiary of Google, and it's this amazing data science community wherein you can go participate in Kaggle competitions. You can participate in like teams with others who are working on cool things. You can post your code there, data sets, be part of discussions. So it's really this entire community that's focused on doing cool things in the data science space.
What you're gonna watch is an amazing story, but before you watch that, I just want to quickly say that all of these story, I compile the key insights from these stories and all the podcasts that I do, and I put this in my free exclusive newsletter community. Every week, more than 16,000 people receive my newsletter, and they love it. And here are some of the examples. You can see this was a podcast on George Mason universities, and you can see how to network and 10% cold emailing, powerful LinkedIn techniques, and so on and so forth. So if you're interested in becoming part of this exclusive newsletter community, absolutely free. Link is in the description, or you can go to udj.com/newsletter. So for someone who wants to get into data science, data analysis, data engineer, would you recommend to be on Kaggle and solve problems, participate?
Yeah, for sure. Like for me, as someone who had just started out, I think it really helped me because not in a way that, okay, this is a place where you can learn things, but also you can learn things that are not there in textbooks or in courses. Like it gives you a real world perspective in terms of what people are doing in the data science space. And it's not just for people who are starting out. Like I have seen PhD level people just hanging out in the discussion forums, seriously focusing on these competitions. And there are companies that have these competition teams so that they actually compete. Like Nvidia has their teams competing and all of those things. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
serious. Yeah.
Got it. Okay. Sorry, I'm going back to the timeline. You
Yeah.
graduated in December 2022 from bachelor's. At this point,
2020.
sorry, 2020. Yes. But I'll do the same thing again. So I'm gonna go back to the timeline just so people have full understanding. Bachelor's 2020 May you graduated.
Correct.
Until this point, no Kaggle, no personal brand, nothing.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So now you graduated, COVID, you were gonna come to CMU, you postponed it that okay, I'm gonna go after 1 year.
Yeah.
So you decided to become software engineer at Colgate. While you were doing this, you're like, okay, I have some free time, work from home, let's create some content. And how did Kaggle came into the picture? Like, why did you think about like, okay, I should just do Kaggle?
So I was always interested in data science, and Kaggle was like the next thing people were doing again at the time. Like I was active on LinkedIn, I was seeing people are posting about these competitions. I was like, okay, what's better? What's a better way to challenge myself than to actually participate in these real world problems that are different from what cookie cutter projects we typically do. Like it wasn't just me doing like a Titanic project or like a housing prices prediction project, but these are
Right.
real cool things. Like companies come with all these problems to Kaggle, and it's a very cool thing.
Nice. And so, is it similar to Lead Code and HackerRank? Similar, not same, but similar.
Yeah, similar, but it's specifically for data science.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. So this 2020 to 2022, you were working, and Kaggle came into the place. You won grandmaster. Like when you say grandmaster, what does that mean? Sorry, I'm like very naive on this.
No, of course, no worries. So they have different tiers that I mentioned, like the notebooks, data sets, competitions, and discussions. Those are four different tiers, and for each tier, there are different progression levels. So each category is different, the criteria is different, but each of them have the highest level of a grandmaster. And I was able to work my way to becoming a triple Kaggle grandmaster, like three of those tiers.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So and to become that, you have to win competitions and participate and all of that.
Yeah, exactly.
How many hours did you do this?
Oh, it was a whole like dedication, like so much. Like every day I used to wake up and I'm like, okay, I've eaten my breakfast. I'm just gonna go hang out on Kaggle for a bit. I'm coding, and the thing is, it was not just me, but like I met so many of my friends today
Hmm.
on Kaggle, and this is a funny story because people typically meet, and this is during COVID, and I'm like, oh, I met my friend on Kaggle.
Yeah, that
So
sounds.
there's this entire community of people that know each other. Like we're contributing, being a part of competitions. We know like exactly how they are going to work on the specific thing. Like because again, we're friends, we chat, things like that.
Okay.
So yeah.
And another thing I want to clarify, data science, people think that there's no coding, which I don't think it's true, but I will ask you as an expert. Do you feel there is no coding?
No, definitely there's so much coding. Data science is just a different type of coding compared to what people are used to in software development.
A lot of math and statistics.
Yeah, lots of math going into it. Also intuition, reading and trying to understand, analyze the data.
Okay. Were you like full on coder when you graduated from bachelor's, or did you develop the skills as you were doing Kaggle?
So I started to code when I was 13. So
Oh,
it
wow.
was
Okay.
wild because we were supposed to learn like we had to take all these computer science courses in school itself in like
What
ninth
school did
and
you go to?
10th. Just ICSE things.
Okay, got it. My school did not teach me that. We were playing men. So
That's good life.
that is a good life, yeah. But amazing, cool. So you were into coding, so you like knew, and data science was something that you were passionate about. Kaggle came into the picture. You started doing this, became the grandmaster. How did the HP thing came in? Like they reached out. This was before even you came to United States.
Correct. So this was in August 2020, and I had started posting and being active on Kaggle from May onwards. So in 3 months of me posting about the work that I'm doing, I
Mm.
landed my first brand deal in a way.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so this brand deal is like HP is like, hey, we want you to be our brand ambassador and post stuff, and we will send you free Kamal, and like you enjoy the material like laptop, computers, and then you would do that. Is that it?
So it was not like stuff coming all the time. It was like they had provided us the equipment, a laptop and a workstation, and we had to do our projects on that. So like that is also ours to keep now. Like
No.
I'm not an ambassador anymore, but I still have those devices. It's
Yeah,
pretty
so you
cool.
work for the same company, no? You must.
That is separate.
Right.
That's why when we first spoke, I had so many devices in my house.
Yeah, I know. Okay, and so that happened. That is going on. So those are the two things in your profile. You came to United States. You landed when, and all this time you're still posting.
Yes.
And um, is how important is this, do you think? Because I think when we talk about personal brand, people think we're asking them to become a content, because I also
Mhm.
teach the similar thing. So I think people think that, oh, now I have to think about how to write a post, how to do this. It's like, I want to become a data scientist or I want to become a data engineer. Essentially all of these people are wanting to get into, job market. But how important is this, and why is this important, and what would you say when people say, like, I'm not a creator?
So people again have this huge misconception that when we talk about personal branding, they think that we need to make videos or you definitely need to be able to write a blog. I just feel like it doesn't have to be one specific way of doing it. Like do what you're good at. For me, initially I started off with just posts on LinkedIn. I did not make videos. I did not do anything at the time. I used to just probably click a picture of me working and then just like talk about the work that I'm doing, XYZ, all of those things. Like it was as simple as that for the first 2 years. And then in May of 2023, I just wanted to suddenly like start Instagram. And
Hmm.
I was like, okay, let's experiment. I did not start with the goal of personal branding for it, but I started because I have a passion for photography.
Hmm.
And my page, I started posting about the work that I'm doing there as well, because once I got comfortable with the way edits work, and it's really not that hard,
Hmm.
um, I was like, okay, maybe this could be another place where I make content, and it started evolving into the page that I have today, which is a mix of like tech, lifestyle, and AI.
Nice. Okay. And if you were to advise someone, let's say I am someone who have no idea what I need to post. I'm a data scientist. I want to become a data analyst, and I'm going to pursue masters in data science or business analytics. And what would be your recommendation? Like, how do I think about building my brand on LinkedIn?
So again, I would just say tap into your strengths. It can be anything as simple as just writing a blog on Medium. Medium's also a great place when it comes to getting the kind of reach, like the organic reach that comes with all these platforms.
So
Even
what?
LinkedIn,
Uh,
yeah.
Sorry, I'm like, you are coaching me. This is a live coaching session, okay? Like, I paid you $1,000, even though you don't have one. But imagine I paid you $1,000 to coach me. Uh,
Yeah.
you tell me Medium ka blog. So what do I write about in this?
So it can be again as simple as introducing a concept that is new in the industry. Like
Hmm.
let's talk about I mean rags are not new anymore, but how does rag work?
New for me, okay.
So people can just write about that, or like, there is something new in the industry again in terms of an LLM, and you can just talk about your thoughts or opinions. It can be like an explanatory post, it can be thoughts and opinions, it can be like the work that you're doing today. Like there are just so many ideas flowing in,
Right.
and if like that's not something that people can again immediately think of, because again people get creators block. There should not be any excuses because chat GPT is there today. So you can like brainstorm, not saying take the AI generated content because it's just so easy to spot, but you people can use it as a brainstorming buddy in
Hmm.
that sense.
Got it. So again, I'm still that persona. I'm
Yeah.
like, Ruchi, I think I'm gonna be doing Kaggle and lead code. I found this amazing project that I'm working on, and today I solved. Again, I'm coming making up things. I
Yeah.
saw I crossed level one. Now I can just. You're telling me that I can just post like, here are the things that I did, and I crossed level one, and excited to see how things go.
Yeah.
And as simple as that.
Yeah, it can be as simple as that as a starting point. And I'm sure like even a post like that initially may or may not get engagement, but engagement should not be the goal when
Ah,
people start.
you
So
are trying to
yeah,
build in public, and recruiters are essentially seeing that what you're doing, and hopefully they will reach out to you.
correct, correct. So the
Mm.
goal should be consistency. The goal should be skill building when they're initially starting. Engagement will come in eventually, and people need to stay strong because I remember when I first started, I used to get like 60 likes, and I'm like, you know what? It's okay. I'm happy with this because I didn't even expect one.
Right. Yeah.
Like that's how I started off.
Hmm. Okay. So now you are in United States. You landed. How, like, obviously we will talk about CMU separately, but
Yeah.
CMU you're enjoying this nice college life. I enjoying might be subjective, but you're doing your nice master's thing. So you are in the ambassador program. You are in United States now. You landed. Uh, at what point? At what point did you like? I need internship. I need to like reach out to the hiring manager. And how did you find hiring manager?
So, like the way that it worked for me was this was in May of 2022 that I needed the summer internship. In November 2021, I reached out to the person who I was working with at the time, like for my ambassador program, that hey, if there's any vacancy, please keep me in mind because I have a summer internship coming along the way, and I've really enjoyed working with your team. Would love to collaborate, etc. So that is sort of what I did in November. So I had to plan ahead of time.
Hmm.
And I did my internship from May 2022 to July of 2022 before I came to the US. So I came in August, but in that summer that went from May to July, that's when I was interning. Again, that was a remote internship from India.
Wow. Okay. So before even you landed, you had a US internship and a master's already. And so and then how many months did you have to left to complete your graduation?
So, like in July, when I finished my internship, so we had this review call with leadership where I had to, talk about the work that I've done in the past 3 months, and that's when my current manager tells me that we knew that this was going to be a full time role for you. Like it was a great feedback session at the time, and I knew that it was coming and it was going to be a full time role, but I got final confirmation in October of that year. Like August, I landed. October, my full time role was confirmed, and then I had like a semester and a half just to like work
Chill.
through CMU, and then in May I graduated immediately. 2 weeks later, I started working.
That is so cool. Nice. I'm surprised you continued your master's. You could have just like, drop out like
I
but
wish.
but that's amazing. Uh, in your first semester, you had a full-time job for when you graduate year and a half. Did you
Yeah.
do second summer as well internship or no?
No, no. So it was a 4 semester program, and in my third semester, which was essentially my first semester in the US, I had
Oh, right. Okay. Gotcha. Nice. Okay, great. So now you're working. How long have you been working?
1 year and 3 months in
Okay.
that.
And you mentioned data science, but then you also mentioned product marketing manager, which piqued my interest. What's the like? How is it different than data? Because data science, though, they build like models and all, but you said product marketing manager, which means you are do applying go to market and
Yeah.
communications and all of that. So, is that what you're doing, or are you doing the programming, or is it a completely different role?
So I like to describe it as a bit of both because even today I code at work. So we do go to these conferences and trade shows where I represent my company. I go speak at industry events. So like all those speaking sessions, I definitely sometimes I do thought leadership sessions. So that's where like I have to be up to date on what's happening in the industry. Sometimes I code for those. So I talk about the projects that I'm doing outside of work,
Hmm.
and even like the product that we are showcasing at events, I write the demo code for all of that, so I do still code at work.
Nice. And if you were to define what is PMM to someone, like what would you do? Like, can you describe your day in a life?
So for me, my role is a little more tailored to my strengths in terms of the work that I do, mostly because I have a data science background, and So like a typical PMM does not code. Before I
Ah.
give the day in my life, for me, like again, like I said, I do have those strengths, and it makes sense for me to contribute in those areas as well. So that's what I do. But my day starts off with me like starting work at around 9 or 10, depending on my earliest meeting, and then I have to be in a bunch of meetings, talking about the narratives for events that are there, that we are going to, or it could be about any marketing materials that I'm setting, like I'm helping set the strategy for. So when I say setting the strategy, that means like I'm coming again with a data science background as an end user who knows how a data scientist might receive a certain type of information. So
Mm,
that's sort of the goal. When I talk to like my team, I talk about, okay, this is how this should be structured in a way that this best is like, this is how it can be best received by the audience. So
mm,
like sort of bringing that voice to the table, and then
yeah,
like 9 to 5 I have meetings. Then
nice.
that's all.
And you recently moved to New York. How do you
Yes,
like it?
it's amazing. Like I would say, I would be very bold to say this, but I think that New York is the place to be. And before I moved here, I was a little skeptical about staying in the US for good. But I know that after like my move here, I actually enjoy the place a lot.
Nice. And you live in the city or do you live in the Jersey City?
I live in Jersey City, but I can see the skyline. So
Right,
like
of course. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah. So would you say New York City itself is a place to be, or would you say that New York, Jersey City, and all of suburb, like the whole thing is a place to be?
I think even Jersey, like New Jersey, like Jersey City, Hoboken, Newport, these places are good because, like you still get the city views, and it's. I personally chose Jersey City because like India Square is very close to my house.
Yeah.
I can go and get like Indian food whenever I want. Not that New York doesn't have it, but just that New Jersey is a little more spaced out in
Mm,
terms of residential buildings. So
yeah.
that is the reason why I chose
Yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay. So I agree because I was also, so I've been to New York and I've been
Yeah,
to Jersey City both. I've been to Exchange Place, which obviously you probably know, and then I've been to Hoboken as well. Those were the place I loved it. Like I was like, okay, I
yeah,
can see because it gives you the vibe of Mumbai, Marine Drive, and all of that, right? So it makes you feel like I felt it like home. But
yeah,
New York, I'm like, I can never see myself living there. Like this
yeah.
is
Me neither. It's too busy.
yeah, yeah. Okay. So I think we are on the same page. Now I get why you said like it is place to be. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I want to turn tables, and because you also help a lot of job seekers and you create content on that, you've been doing research on that. So let's like put a hat of that. And if you were to go back in time in job search strategy, what
Yeah.
would you do? Like what, like I am again masters in business analytics, I want to get a job as a data analyst.
Yeah.
How would you structure my roadmap to get a job?
So I would say that first of all, and people come to me with these questions in my DMs or like on LinkedIn or anything that, oh, I have 30 days to find a job. What do I do? I haven't like they just come in those panic situations, and I just feel so bad because it's such a tough market. It's
Yeah,
not easy as it is.
yeah,
And people really need to start thinking about their personal brand before they graduate. Like at least a year before they graduate, they need to just start building things, learning in public, if not, actually contributing and sharing new things out. Like just learning in public in terms of, oh, this is what I learned in my university, this is what I'm doing, so that when a recruiter, you're reaching out to a recruiter on LinkedIn, people can always come back and see, oh, what is this person up to? What have they done
mm,
beyond what is already there in the experience field and all of that.
yeah.
So that is what I would advise, that first of all start early.
Start
Um,
with
yeah, and then the second thing would be like choose the kind of domain that you want to contribute, and again it could be um, like opinion pieces, it could be like actual like people some people just love to make new things. So it could be like a revamp of a mobile app or something. Like I know some time and again people keep posting all these things, the UI designers, that, oh, I redesigned what Spotify would look like if
oh yeah, yeah,
all
yeah.
of those things. Like it can be in something innovative as well. So choose your pick in terms of the content that you want to make. And lastly,
Yeah,
like
but
be
that
consistent.
so is like personal brand aspect. I'm saying
Yeah,
overall full job search journey.
yeah,
So I am about to land to do my master's in business analytics.
yeah,
So I have full time now. I'm like, okay, I've gotten my visa approved. I have 3 months left to come to United States. I'm gonna not be in CMU because I don't want hardcore program. I want like, maybe I'm in University of Connecticut for example, and now I have 3 months. So I will first is clarity that okay, where do I want to go?
yeah.
I want to be data engineer or data science. Now you said start early, so this is early enough for me to start. I'm assuming this. I don't
Yeah.
know. And one of the things to do is keep building the personal brand on the side. So that is one aspect of job hunting. What other aspects would you recommend to do?
So again, like step one is to build the personal brand, and
Mm,
then step two is obviously strategizing in terms of which companies people want to be at. I know with the job market being tough, people don't really have a lot of options in terms of
mm,
where they want to be, and that flexibility is limited. But then just having it in mind that okay, I know I want to work at a Fortune 500, and then
mm,
making a list of the companies that you want to work at. Once that is done, once that initial list is prepared,
mm,
I would really recommend people to like go to LinkedIn,
mm,
see in the people tab of working, like people who are working at that company, who are those people,
mm,
who are sometimes people just write as well, like that those specific roles. Like for example, if I was looking for product management roles at Google, I would go to the website of not website, but like the LinkedIn
LinkedIn
page
page.
of Google, people filter by product managers, and then just cold reach out. Like people can really do that, and there's
Mm,
an option if you have in mail, you don't have like there are some set credits that people can leverage.
huh.
If premium is there, then making sure that you're again optimizing and not just reaching out to everyone in the company, but like thinking about the specific role that is most suited, and
Mm.
yeah,
Okay,
cold
so
reach out at the time.
back to my avatar. I want to work in 50 companies and I have the list of 50 companies. I'm still in India. I go to their LinkedIn page, I go to people section, I type data science. I see directors or the people who are working for it. I pick 5, 10 people that I want to like, let's outreach them. What
Mhm.
would you say to them? Like, why are you reaching out to them? Like, how would you, again, I am asking this because I get thousands, and you will probably also be getting this, but
Yeah.
thousands of LinkedIn requests, which no connection note, which I don't understand why they don't do it. But okay, I don't get a connection note, and they still want expect me to accept the connection request. So, in your opinion, would you say that you should send a request without connection note?
No, not without, with yes.
With
Because I also go through my connection list. Sometimes people don't add. I just don't remember who. If I had spoken to them at a conference, like how am I supposed to remember
yeah,
so many people? So
right,
it
right,
really helps. Like even a simple like, oh, we met at a particular conference, and
yeah,
I'd be like, oh yeah, I spoke to this person.
right, yeah,
I'm good at remembering faces. I just don't remember
yeah,
names.
yeah, of course. Yeah, unless you in the event you exchange it and connect
Yeah.
it, then that's a different story. But so what would you how would you outreach? Like what would be a typical message look like? And then why is like let's say they accepted, then what happened? Like how do you build a relationship?
So even like first of all, you mentioned that people don't send any notes. That is one. And the second type of messages I receive are, "Oh, I'm looking for a referral. Just refer me." I'm like, I don't know you. I'm sorry, but I can't help you. Like, how
Right.
will I be able to help someone without knowing their
Yeah.
strengths and like what they excel at?
Mm,
So I appreciate those kind of messages wherein people tell me like something that they resonate with when it comes to my journey.
mm,
They talk about like, this is specifically that messages I respond to. If I find common ground, and then they talk about their experience, and if they just ask me for a coffee chat, so I
mm,
actually go ahead and speak to people like that because I'm like, okay, they're not
mm,
outright asking me for favors right
mm.
off the bat.
Okay.
And I read this somewhere that if you're cold reaching out, have that conversation after you speak to them a minimum of 3 times, so it
Mm.
doesn't come off as being like
Like,
too forward.
ulterior motive was that only, so that's why you reached out, kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so in my journey now, I saw Ruchi's podcast on Yudi. I was like, oh my gosh, like I have to reach out to this person. I also HP is in my list. I found out that she's PMM and data science, and she's into data science. Like that's where I want to go. I send you a message saying, hey Ruchi, I saw you in Yudi's podcast. Impressed
Yeah.
by 3 times Kaggle grandmaster and HP dash ambassador. I would love to learn more and kind of discuss things with you, and that is the connection request. You accepted. Now I gotta get on a call. Like now what do you expect?
So, like of course, I would have a coffee chat with somebody I resonate with, and then like would love to learn more about their experience in terms of what they do, things they are working on, all of that, and then sort of building that relationship wherein you're not just talking about what you need, but also like how the other. It's like always a two-way street.
Hmm.
So I always talk about that as well, like even in my LinkedIn posts, Instagram,
Hmm.
that make sure networking feels personal. Because otherwise, like it comes off as very transactional and it's not a good look.
Hmm. So yeah, so I'm trying to learn more about you, what you do, why you do what you do, New York, Jersey City, etc., etc. Building this relationship. So this is
Yeah,
going on, and I'm doing this with 10, 15 other people because I want to have a good network that when I
yeah,
land, I have some opportunities lined up, and like I can just reach out to Ruchi like, hey Ruchi, I see HP is hiring. Do you know hiring manager? And I can hopefully,
yeah,
like, now Ruchi's good friend, or not friend, but at least good acquaintance. I can tell her that maybe she's willing to now do it. Would you
yeah.
say is a good approach?
I definitely think that's a good approach.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So this comes. So there's 3 pillars. You said list out. First is start early. Build a personal brand. So
Yeah,
I'm building the personal brand. I have the list of companies. I am reaching out to the people, building the network also. And and you said build interesting projects. So this is
yeah,
skill development, upskilling yourself. So that way, when the time comes, you can actually show that I have something to like. I'm not just like networking, but I'm also like I can actually do the work too. Would you agree or no?
yeah, exactly. Like it's exactly a mixture of all of those things.
Okay. Anything else would you add to this?
um, I think I would say that apart from all this for job search, this is something I have noticed being at so many conferences because of work. There are many opportunities for people to attend these conferences again through their universities or otherwise. So
Hmm.
I would really advise to look for those opportunities, and because it gives you an like you can directly be and speak to people from these companies directly,
Hmm.
and I feel like that is a great way to again meet people in person. Conversations that happen in person are always more impactful. So it's always a great way to explore new things like that. Like I know people cold apply, cold reach out to recruiters and all of those things, but there is still room for in-person connections and building and reaching out to people directly for job search in that sense.
Nice. Do you know any conference you would recommend? Like, okay, at least these I know I've gone, and I personally feel like people should go to these or more. Do you
So
know?
personally, my top two favorites for this year were Google Cloud Next and NVIDIA GTC.
Hmm.
Great for all things AI. Met a lot of cool people working in the industry, not just the industry, but also like people from universities.
Hmm.
So these are all sponsored. There are sponsored tickets for universities, or there's a separate category for those.
Okay.
So there are student discounts available and all of those things. Sometimes if it's early bird, you can be lucky and you can get free tickets as well. So I think
Nice.
it's pretty cool.
Any other conferences would you recommend? Like, of course, these are the two you went, but are
Yeah.
there any that you think like these are also good ones to go if people can afford or have time?
I think Gartner conferences are again great, and this is like more towards data and analytics.
Right. Yeah.
But it's a great one, great series to attend. There are a bunch that happen across the year.
Nice.
So yeah.
Yeah, and let's say again, if the university is not sponsoring, and I missed out on early bird, uh, or maybe I still have early bird, it's $200 ticket. Do you think it's worth the investment?
I mean, it depends on again, like on individual preference because I personally think conference tickets are expensive. which
Yeah.
is why I recommended going the university route. But if it is not like if it's just, I wouldn't say just 200, but like if
Yeah,
people can spend $200 on a concert, they can spend it on a conference.
right. But you think there is an enough ROI that,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah, it's better than, like, yeah, like you said, like it can be a weekend trip and you can spend more than $200, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
it's a weekend trip, I said, like not a movie. Right? So instead of that, like spend 200 investment. It's like an investment, and go with the game plan that, okay,
Yeah.
I'm here and I want to connect, hopefully meet recruiter and get interview calls. So yeah, so that is how you would approach this.
Yes, exactly.
Nice. Cool. I have another question. These are for introverts like me. I'm an introvert. And I know there are probably other introverts as well. Uh, they probably are very shy about this networking thing and conferencing, and they feel like, I don't know what to talk and I don't know like how to ask. And is it because I was talking to this one girl yesterday, and um, she mentioned that she gets a response from hiring manager that here is the link, you apply. And I was like, okay, did you ask, like, can you meet for 15 minutes? I would love to learn more about it. She's like, I didn't know that I could even do that. I'm like, wait.
Oh,
And because she thought that she's asking way too much of her, and like, I don't know like what I will talk to him. So what advice would you give to them?
so even like when I first started out, I used to feel like, oh, I don't want to be come across as too pushy. But like luckily, it doesn't come off as too pushy when it's on text on LinkedIn, like unless people are intentionally being pushy. So if you have a genuine question in terms of those job search roles that you're looking at, I would just say go for it, but don't pester. Like the second you feel like you're overdoing it, you probably are.
Hmm.
But at the same time, if you feel like you have a genuine question, it will really not impact the journey as such
Hmm.
as much as we think it would.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, nice. What's the cost of living in New York? I mean, Jersey City.
It's expensive.
For you, what is expensive? You make me like $500,000, no?
But I'm
You're not
spending
lying.
to
So I think there is some truth to that. But
I'm spending like $5,000 in expenses per month. It's steep.
$5,000?
It's steep.
Wait, how?
It's the rent, it's the car that
So-
takes up a
Sorry,
majority.
this is very. Wait, 5,000. What is your rent? I mean, range.
3,000 something, 3,400.
But I'm assuming it's the waterfront building. That's why. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's the view. It's literally, and I'm not going to complain because I chose this.
ठीक है, right.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3,000, and it's a car and groceries and eating and outside and all of this. It's is what you're telling me. It's like roughly 5,000.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
It's,
But you're also probably like, I think it's worth it for you because the experience and all of that.
yeah.
What kind of money people make in data science and in PMM? You don't have to tell me your salary, obviously.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
give me like a salary range.
I think for data science, the range starts from like 175 and above, 175K and
What?
above. Yeah.
Really?
Like especially if they are coming in from a good school. Like I have friends who have offers in that range. If they're living in New York.
Wow. Okay. What? And this, are you talking about total com or base?
I think total comp.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh. And what about PMM? Same thing?
Also starts, but it starts at 150 onwards. Like it's 150 and upwards based on your experience.
Got it. Okay.
But data science and all those coding roles are definitely more, they pay better.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. And then how much did CMU cost you?
CMU, it was a combined tuition for 2 years, 4 semesters. It was 100K.
Papre. Like
Yeah.
everything is expensive about you.
So expensive.
It's not expensive.
No, it is so much expensive.
Yeah, it is so expensive. Do you feel you will be able to not pay off the loan? I don't know if you took the loan, but recover the money.
I think it's easy to recover the money like over time. So it really depends on the types of loans people have taken. And I feel like if you're able to land a job, you'll be able to pay back your loan. Yeah.
Any final words of wisdom for international students or job seekers who are like watching this video?
I would just say that, like in general, for international students who are coming in, one word of advice is be prepared to like do a bunch of things in terms of like not just academic, but also being able to take care of yourself and like being able to cook and all those things. Because when I first came here, I did not think about those additional responsibilities, and it just suddenly felt like a lot. And then when that is stopped with job search, it can get overwhelming. So if people are coming in, they need to be mentally prepared that this is going to be a journey that they haven't been on before. So like come here with an open mind and explore and do your thing, and you'll be good.
Nice. Love it. Thank you again, Ruchi. I can't wait to bring you back and talk about CMU and data science and all the fun stuff. But until our next one.
Keep smiling, keep hustling.